26-year-old Alok Shah, a businessman from Pune. He visits a nearby high-end salon for men at least once every fortnight and indulges himself with a head massage amongst other things, spending up to 700 rupees per visit. The reason for Alok's yearning to unwind and pamper himself? His stressful job. Reason why he admits most of his male colleagues too make going to a men's salon a monthly ritual.
Maybe a haircut or maybe a facial treatment. It could be anything, and it is very necessary to do the same to keep yourself updated with all these things.
This is 22-year-old Gurgaon-based Kavita Chaudhary. Despite her erratic and sometimes unpredictable work hours, she always manages to make time for her bi-weekly slimming session.
It's very important to stay fit, not being obese, staying healthy, eating healthy food.
Stressful jobs, pressure to look like the perfect model, lifestyle diseases, lack of a balanced diet, you name it. The reasons are unending. But this is exactly why people are rushing to nearly 10 lakh salons, spas and slimming centers in India.
Not only for their own outer appearance, it's also about making your skin and making your body much more healthier.
The corporate culture is as such that you have to look and be presentable and be professional. So there is a grooming involved in that.
Everybody has a desire to look good. I find even the maids that are working in my home, they want to go to the neighborhood beauty parlor to get their eyebrows done.
In fact, a survey done by the Nielsen company reveals that over 80% Indians feel the pressure to look better than the generation before them, and almost 30% of those surveyed are spending more on beauty products and treatments. 36% invest monthly on hair care, and over 20% get facial treatments every month.
Education and training and meeting a professional who can do that for you becomes more and more important, and this is where as L'Oreal, we are spending all our money, a large chunk of money on education and training of professionals to deliver this customized for each of the consumer who walks in.
Market has always been driven by the wedding market. About 10 years or 12 years back, a singular wedding would have about 2 ceremonies or 3 ceremonies. These days, typically, there are about 5 ceremonies. And everywhere salon services are taken not just by the bride or the groom but also by the family members.
With low operating costs and higher profit margins, this is one industry which appears recession-proof. Herbal Queen Shahnaz Hussain, one of the pioneers in branded beauty products and salons, attributes this beauty explosion to the media, marketing and advertising explosion.
They're constantly reading, they're watching films, they're watching ads, they're seeing road hoardings of somebody looking good and sort of connecting looking good to feeling good. I think that accounts for even the small villages or urban areas or rural areas doing very, very well.
You find that from rural to urban, there's a shift happening. Second one is that per capita disposable incomes are growing across urban and rural. And what we find today is that rural markets continue to grow and are growing actually much faster today than urban, which is showing that rural consumers also are aspiring to the same beauty standards or benefits as an urban consumer.
Experts say it's the increasing male market that is leading this change. Men like Rohit, who frequented salons only for a haircut, are exploring other treatments. Research shows that 67% men go to a spa to have massages, skin treatments, etc., while 53% visit a salon once a month and 20% Indian men visit salon twice a month, adding almost 7 to 8% revenue portfolio for brands. In fact, it's the Indian man who's eager to spend at least 10 to 15% more on beauty-related products. In fact, for Marico-owned Kaya Skin Clinic, around 20% revenues come from men. Similarly, for Shahnaz Hussain, men form 20% of the male clientele. It's a similar story for Dabur.
We have found that most fairness creams, face washes, 20 to 30% of usage, even a woman's targeted brand, was happening through men. Now, I think as incomes go up, men can justify buying a separate product. They have higher aspirations. So a man was earlier using only a deodorant or let's say a fairness cream. Now you're getting into face washes, sun care, etc., etc. So yes, it is a big determinant of growth for the skincare and wellness business today.
What's more is the fact that beauty is no longer the domain of the urban affluent. Cities like Pune, even semi-urban towns are seeing a shocking explosion in the beauty business. A reason why none of the beauty players in the business can afford to ignore these centers.
Instinctively, one would say that they would be more loyal because of the lack of, several options available. But if you look at the beauty and the wellness business, and there's been considerable research which has been done, actually there's very little to differentiate between the rural and the urban consumer, so to speak. So a mindset that operates in Delhi is equally much the same mindset that operates in say, a Meerut or in a Ramgarh. And it's shocking because I've seen this in terms of our market visits for clients. Because basic human aspiration, which is the kernel of the beauty and the wellness business, remains the same and remains unaltered.
If we were to take a look at VLCC's 40 franchise centers, they are in small towns like Bhatinda, Tirupur and Ahmednagar, like this one in Pune. Beauty veteran Shahnaz Hussain runs a chain of 300 franchisees and gets around 30% of group sales from towns like Kolhapur, Panchkula, Raipur and Saharanpur. Global beauty brand L'Oreal, which has a 40% presence in small towns and has partnered with approximately 25,000 salons in the country, was pleasantly surprised to find a place like Coimbatore increase the demand for its premium hair care brand Kerastase.
Treatments are a big thing which we think in small towns because they are providing solutions to some of the problems which are not being able to, which the consumer is not being able to solve on its own by buying off-the-shelf products.
FMCG giant Dabur entered the beauty business in 2008 by setting up a retail store, New You, which houses almost all Indian brands like Pond's, Lakme and Neutrogena. The company admits 50% of revenues come from the semi-urban strata, a reason why the company organizes annual shows like Dabur Ramla Rani Banke Dikhao and Dabur Ramla Sushil Sundar Pratiyogita and the latest Gulabari Miss Rose contest. In fact, the winner of the Gulabari Miss Rose contest is among the winners in the Femina Miss India 2012. The brand for this contest launched print and radio ads, on-ground activations for which it received over 6,000 inquiries in Hyderabad alone. Marico-owned Kaya Skin Clinic spends approximately 10 to 12% of its revenues on promotions to cater to its customer base, which has grown to 5 lakh plus in 9 years. Shahnaz Hussain, on the other hand, says her brand relies less on marketing and branding and more on direct marketing, running deals like 15-day offers, which have helped the brand increase its sales volumes by up to 20%.
To begin with, you have to analyze the fact that these brands belong in the lifestyle space. And the lifestyle space is all about branding, and therefore there is this pressing need to brand. What is also important is that to a large measure this entire category is getting commoditized to a large extent, and therefore once again the pressing need to stand out and therefore be branded.
Indians are still not understanding how the power of product and how it can be sold within the salon. That is again where I feel marketing at various levels need to be imbibed in our salon industry.
But despite being an expanding industry, it's faced with several challenges.
Unorganized market, lack of good products.
With the emergence of newer formats like Medi-Spas, resort or business spas, day spas and airport spas, this market, largely considered to be the territory of urban consumers, is currently estimated at 137 billion rupees, a market that is estimated to grow to around 510 billion by 2014, with a growth rate of 30%. In fact, the salon market is expected to be 6,900 crore rupees in India, which includes both services and professional care products retailed through salons. What's also interesting is that of the total wellness and beauty market in India, pegged at rupees 19,000 crore, the unorganized market, which mostly has shop-sized beauty parlors, stands at 77%. This is among the major stumbling blocks, leading to the grey market, inducing people like Manju, who works as a cleaner in a leading media house, to get fake brands at a cheaper rate, compromising on quality and health and taking away from sales of big brands.
कॉस्मेटिक कितने महंगे हैं, वही महंगे कंपनियों के जब कॉस्मेटिक हमें लोकल कंपनियों में सस्ते दाम में मिलते हैं तो महंगी कंपनियों के कॉस्मेटिक क्यों खरीदें?
Experts, however, attribute the locally trained workforce that lacks professional expertise as the biggest reason why India still lags behind the US in this beauty and wellness market. Lack of proper accreditation, a regular monitoring authority, auditing of unorganized players and Indian duty are some of the other deterrents.
I guess duty structure would probably be the deterrent for the product market. For international products to be imported in here, they would of course become more expensive for the Indian consumer.
My lips could be more poutier. My hair definitely needs some more straightening. My skin, I think it needs a spa. There's definitely no end to it. It's this low self-esteem and wrongful notions of self that brands often advertise, promising all sorts of things like revitalizing your relationship or success at workplace by making us believe that all that can happen through using just their products. Seriously? And we as consumers often fall for all that advertising and branding.